Transportation is a vital means of doing business in the metropolis. Business, commerce, trade, call it what you like, develops any country. Nigeria's commercial heartbeat is constantly throbbing with business crisscrossing the city. And LaMotta, the regulating agency for transportation in Lagos State, recognizes the need for mobility around the metropolis and is responsible to ensuring that necessary infrastructure are in place.
Last week, the #1 citizen of Lagos State, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola SAN, commissioned the newly rehabilitated WEMPCO Road. This was showed you on the program.
This week, delegates from the World Bank visited the Mile 12 to Ikorodu BRT extension project to inspect its progress. These and more we will show you on today's program. I am Obafemi Craig.
I am Kate Harmony. See you after the break.
Basically, what LaMotta does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success, dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
LaMotta, keeping Lagos moving. We thank you for joining us on the news highlights on LaMotta FR. The long arm of the law has caught up with 7 drivers for Bus Rapid Transit BRT lane violation. The drivers were fined and sentenced to 1-hour community service, according to the Nation newspaper. The Special Offences Court, presided over by Magistrate Olabisi Kushanu, warned the offenders to desist from plying the BRT lanes or face harder sanction if rearrested. Those arrested, fined, and sentenced to 1-hour community service are Kimi Igbekum, 34, driver of Toyota RAV4 with number plate LSD 318DJ, Daniel Chimeze, 24, driver of Toyota Hilux, number plate KTU 780BR, Sadiq Musa, 50, driver of Toyota Corolla FG 688A42, and Telemi Moses, 41, driver of Mitsubishi L200 AKD 132XD. Others are Idris Olawale, 22, driver of Kia Pregio SMK 33XL, Obasi Emeka, 42, driver of Toyota Camry NLD 186DB, and Buki Olakbade, 40, driver of Golf with registration number CH225APP. They were apprehended inside the Bus Rapid Transit lane around Anthony on Ikorodu Road in Lagos by officials of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LATSMA. They pleaded guilty to a count charge of BRT violation and admitted to regular use of the corridor to meet deadlines or beat traffic gridlocks associated with carriageway. Igbekun said he was caught on his first attempt. They served their sentence by cutting the grass on the football field of the Ministry of Youth and Social Development Remand Home at Oregun, Ikeja, Lagos. LASMA General Manager Babatunde Edu said the agency will not relent in its enforcement of the BRT regulation, as well as ensure free flow of traffic in the state. We don't have to wait for the uniformed men before we do the right thing. We should all adopt the culture of self-discipline on road usage. We are determined to do more enlightenment and little enforcement to bring sanity to the roads, he said. He urged motorists in the state to cooperate with the traffic officers. Section 2 to 8 of the 2008 BRT regulations listed varying restrictions on the use of the BRT lanes, while Section 9 enumerates the penalty for the offences. It is hoped that the latest arrest, fine and sentences imposed on the 7 drivers will deter others from willfully violating the BRT lanes. And that ends the news highlight. For LaMotta, it must be quality delivery on all our projects every step of the way. Join us as the management of LaMotta and the World Bank Inspector team go on a visit of the Mile 12 to Ikorodu BRT extension project. It has been acknowledged that nothing is more important to civilization than transportation and probably communication. Without effective transportation, humans and regions are largely isolated from each other. Modern city administrators and planners have identified the design and incorporation of a transport master plan into their planning in order to create a transport system that will at once meet the needs of the people for a livable and functional neighborhood. In the last 13 years, since the creation of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority LaMotta, a new direction has been charted for public transportation, and this today propels the state's transport subsector, employing several thousands, providing livelihood to the teeming masses of the people, changing their lifestyle and improving their neighborhood. Most of the transportation improvement projects embarked upon by LaMotta are concentrated in the highly built-up urban environment, and this means relocation of people and services. But in spite of all the challenges attending the implementation of such projects, their successful completion always brings the needed relief. So is the case of the Mile 12 to Ikorodu Road expansion and the Bus Rapid Transit BRT extension from Mile 12 to Ikorodu. The road expansion and BRT extension project was funded with a credit from the World Bank and French Development Agency. Officials of both agencies on a mission to LaMotta took time out to assess the transport project. The first stop was the Mile 12 terminal, where the team was briefed by the Managing Director of LaMotta, Dr. Dayo Mobiriola. The team was shown different facilities to make the terminal a functional bus hub for the BRT. This includes the bus shelter areas, which can accommodate more than 10 buses at a time, Holden Bay, where buses could be stowed overnight, conveniences for both the BRT crew and passengers, offices for administrative works, and a newly built bus park for yellow buses that are being displaced from areas being utilized for the construction of the terminal. The team was also taken to the Ikorodu terminal, where Dr. Mobriola explained how BRT buses will be given priority over other vehicles with the installation of the traffic light to control vehicle movement. Just like other terminals, conveniences have also been provided. He said the terminal areas will be fenced to deter intruders and ensure the security of passengers, BRT buses, and staff working in the system. At the bus depot garage at Majidun Awori, the team was shown the workshop garage, fuel dump, stowing and washing areas for the buses, the administrative building and other facilities that will support a modern bus system as the Bus Rapid Transit BRT. He said the operator of the bus system will be tasked with an agreement on the maintenance of the bus depot garage. As part of the visit, the team was also at the Yanoikpaja Igondo Ikotum Bus Franchise Scheme, BFS, to assess the operation of the bus system which serves the needs of commuters in Alimosho and Ikeja local government areas. The World Bank has assisted the BFS operation in refurbishing 25 buses which fell into serious disrepair and therefore was hampering the operation of the scheme. Managing Director of Cape Trust Investment Limited, the fleet manager of the BFS buses, Mr. Juwon Oshibanjo, spoke on the challenges of the operation but assured that his company was in the process of acquiring new buses to further improve its operation. The team was led by the task team leader for LUTP2, Mr. Rogers Goham, who commended the fleet manager, saying in spite of the challenges faced, it had been able to put the operation back on the road and admonished it to work harder to make the service as example of a good franchise operation. The mission in its overall assessment once again gave LaMotta thumbs up in the delivery of the BRT extension project, saying it is yet another landmark project that will bring succor to the people and reduce poverty. Given the track record already posted by the agency, the World Bank and AFD assured of their constant support to LaMotta and the Lagos State government.
A promise is a debt. A promise kept speaks integrity and elicits trust. In LaMotta, our promise is to deliver to you a transportation system that meets world-class standard and that suits Lagos State as a megacity. Enjoy watching the commissioning of the all-transformed WEMPCO Road.
Lagos, my home. With LaMotta, Lagos is changing for the best.
In the beginning, there was a flooded single lane, ridden with potholes, barely motorable, and notorious for the worst traffic congestion for the busiest link road in Ikeja, Ogba environs. Then came the intervention of the Lagos State government through LaMotta by first solving the flooding and drainage challenge and rehabilitating the road by upgrading it from a single carriageway to a dual carriageway, fitted with road furniture that would make it fully functional. With the go-ahead of the government and the people, LaMotta began the 18-month rehabilitation journey to transform the face of WEMPCO Road to a dual carriageway meeting world-class standards. It was rough at first, as what was left of the road was scarified. Appropriate traffic control and world-class safety standards were put in place in collaboration with sister agencies such as LASMA, FRSC, Office of Drainage Services of the State Ministry of the Environment, and the mass media to update users about the road under construction as well as alternative routes to be used. Underground drainage channel was sunk and linked to collect rain and industrial wastewater into the Omole Gorge, all the way from Agege, Ogba, and the surrounding areas. The road expansion included the dualization of the road to create 2 lanes on each side. Walkways and bicycle lanes were constructed from the beginning to the end of the road to encourage pedestrians using non-motorized means of transport. In the final stages, lane markings and street lighting powered by a standby generator were provided. Stakeholders, business owners, notable residents along WEMPCO Road were present for the official commissioning by the Governor of Lagos. The Managing Director of LaMotta, in his speech, remarked on the features of the road, the challenges and high points of constructing the road to meet world-class standards.
This road, as many of you are aware, was a near impassable road, usually flooded and riddled with potholes, which limited its potential for aiding mobilities. In order to make the road respond to the yearning of the citizens, the state government decided to rehabilitate it by upgrading it from one single carriageway to a dual carriageway. Your Excellency, what we are witnessing today is in fact the commissioning of 2 projects, which has been diligently executed to give the residents, businesses, and public and general public a better lease of life. Before now, WEMPCO Road and its environ has been subjected to devastating flooding that usually lead to destruction of properties, shutting down of businesses, traffic congestion, and in some cases, loss of lives whenever it rains. The incident of June 10, 2011, and the grave loss recorded was one in case. To turn the tide and achievement, the current status of rehabilitation of the road. 2 projects were tactically executed. First was the construction of an adequate underground drainage channelization to tackle the flooding issues, and the second, the total reconstruction and rehabilitation of the road from a single lane to a dualized lane with appropriate furnitures.
Before the commissioning, the Governor of Lagos, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola SAN, admonished all present and road users in general to care for the road, which he said belongs to everyone and is an evidence of taxpayers' money and dividends of democracy. He also encouraged users for utmost care and safety on WEMPCO Road.
This road was built with your taxes. Anybody that attacks this road really attacks your prosperity, and you must rise to protect and to defend it.
Before Governor Fashola commissioned the road, he was full of commendations for the management and staff of LaMotta team for professionally doing the great quality of work carried out on the construction of the road.
That the managing director of LaMotta, who deserves all our commendation with his team, has explained to us. All the docks that you need to connect facilities, whether it is fiber link, whether it is cable, whether it is piping, is all embedded in this road. If you have any doubt how to locate it, contact the LaMotta office. But please do not cut this road. There is no need to cut this road to lay any pipe.
We won't let you go without some safety tips from our experts. Here are some tips for you to know to keep you safe.
My name is Jide Oduyoye. Welcome to the safety tips segment of the program. This week, and as usual, we all know that we're very concerned about safety on the roads. And this program offers us an opportunity to discuss these sort of concerns that we have. Specifically this week, we should talk about the road construction and extension to the existing BRT corridor, that is from mile 12 to Ikorodu town. If you're not aware that LaMotta is doing a major work on that corridor, then it's time to wake up and see that things are changing in this state. Anyway, my concern is, while the construction is going on, we have observed and we have noticed that a few accidents and crashes have taken place on that corridor. The road has not been delivered for use. The BRT buses have not been delivered, but the corridor itself is just there. Now, I think between you and I, we understand that the road is a bit different. It's kind of unique in its entirety. Why am I saying that? That's because some areas of that corridor is shared or will be shared between the BRT lanes and normal traffic, which is different from what we all used to on the existing corridor that is mile 12 to CMS, where we all know that the BRT corridor is specifically on the same axis and we know how to stay away from it. But this particular area that we're talking about will require all of us to sit down, assess it, understand it, be aware, and to allow ourselves to embrace the changes. That is what development is all about. So mile 12 to Ikorodu town, as it is right now, very, very worrying. What I have noticed is that too many vehicles are speeding. Too many vehicles are not staying within the lane. We have road markings. We have road signs there. We have areas where people need to do U-turn. But we have seen that because the road has just been tarred, the commuters on that road are doing things that they should not do. We are not giving way to pedestrians. So the tips that I have for you this week is that keep your speed to a maximum of 60 kilometers per hour. Always, and I repeat, always, very important, stay on your lane. You don't need to, the white line is not for you to straddle or to sit in the middle of it. Keep to your lane. MYL, we have said it here before, no vehicle will come and meet you if you stay on your own lane. When you come to areas that are built, i.e. around the mile 12 for Ikorodu town, allow pedestrians to cross because the pedestrian bridges are not yet ready for them to use. So be considerate. And that road is not one where we need to create crashes for ourselves or damage our private property. Because if you do speed too much, then your car can end up in one of the islands that we have on the road. Be safe out there.
Lagos, my home. With LaMotta, Lagos is changing for the best.
Thank you for joining us again on the program. We have a comment from our Facebook page, and this is from Jalili Olaiwola Jimo, and he says, I really appreciate LaMotta for the ongoing work on Mile 12 to Ikorodu Road. Please, you need to make some clarifications on your TV programs for some people to know and understand it. It is about the road. They used to complain on the wider space on some area along the road. I let them know that some are BRT bus stops and some are U-turns. But maybe if you let them know the reason why the space is there, they may stop saying nonsense. And that's from Jimo Jalili Olaiwola. Thank you so much for your comments.
Thank you for reaching us, and keep sending your questions, comments, and remarks to any of the following. It is a pleasure to have you share this time with us, and you can be rest assured that our regard for and commitment to serve you better will never change, except for the better.
The reason is simple. We believe in and live by the words of Nelson Boswell. Always give people more than what they expect to get. LaMotta.
Keeping Lagos moving.
Lagos, my home. With LaMotta, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail.